will be sending you a welcome. From 6:30 to 7, we have an orientation where we kind of will tell you who we are, what we're doing, etc. And then the main meeting starts at 7. Never goes longer than an hour, even with me, long-winded girl. It does not, okay? So we would encourage you to join in on that. It's pretty cool. How do we get involved, okay? We really, one of our driving things is we want LDS people who live by the Spirit of God, who are inspired, to get involved in pro-life work within their communities and within their states. The Lord told us to be the salt of the earth. He didn't tell us to just be salty in our wards. Our wards are like stinking Dorito bags, okay, of salt. And he didn't say be the salt of your ward. He said be the salt of the earth, didn't he? Right? So, this is us. You are called here this day to get involved. It may start with crocheting, okay? It may start with, remind me, Aaron, I got to give you this $40. It may start from the sweet little widow's mite. This little lady sends me a note about every 3 months with beautiful handwriting saying, here's $40 more. How sweet is that? Okay, that might be what you do. That may be how you get involved. There's all kinds of ways to get involved. And so, where's the QR code? On the back of their program, perhaps? On the back of your program, if you'll flip it over, maybe, or maybe it's on the front, I don't know. It's on the back. There's a little QR code with ideas, because, man, you may be like me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start. So if you do that QR code, it'll give you some ideas of what you can do. Like, number one is, how many of us are going to invite people from West Virginia? Like, right? I mean, that's like one thing we can do, okay? So we want you to get involved. We want you to pray about this, ask the Lord what you can do, multiply by 10, and get to work. Okay. And what's next? Donations. Oh, that's me. I'm always the money girl. If you would like to donate to Latter-day Saints for Life, just go onto the website. Super easy. Donate button. And there you go. If everybody here threw in another $50 today, not 50, that's way too much. Well, some of you might. I got excited there. Did you see that? I just kind of got excited. Maybe 20, okay? Who's willing to give up one trip to McDonald's this month? How many? Come on. Okay, let's take a little pledge. How many of you are willing to give up one trip to McDonald's this month? Come on. Let's see it. I want commitment. All right. And throw in $20 or whatever you want to do, okay? However generous you want to do. We're all volunteers. None of us are making money off of this. We are using this strictly for outreach to bless the lives of the members of the church and spread the word. All right, donations. Oh, and then we're reporting. So we have had a meeting with the Utah area presidency. One of the counselors is named Elder Martinez. Excuse me. That's Mormon swearing. Wow. And he gave our closing prayer at the Pro-Life March for Life. And so we met him, started to chat with him and his incredible wife. He's a former doctor. His wife is a former pediatrician and lawyer, and she created a Medicare Advantage business that they sold and were able to retire and serve the church. She's like amazing. Anyway, I digress. We have had more support from Elder Martinez, wouldn't you say, in like the last couple of weeks than we've had in the last 2.5 years. They're from Puerto Rico. They're amazing. They're awesome. And so we have discussed Latter-day Saints for Life with the area presidency. They are 100% on board, very much supportive of the work that we're doing. And it was incredible. And they have been providing ongoing support. One of the things that they are working on is lining up a meeting with the General Relief Society president, General Young Women's president, and the primary president. So they are working on lining that up. We are hoping. I wrote a book with Emily Freeman, so I'm kind of milking that one too, right? So she wants to have this happen. So we're going to try to get that. That's our big goal for the year, is to make that happen, because we want to have the conversation of here's how Sanctity of Life is operating in the church. When we have half of our members under the age of 50 who are pro-abortion. I don't use the word pro-choice. When they are pro-abortion, we have work to do. So we're trying to line that up. Suzanne, you can tell your story.
Okay, so exactly a year ago, I was at lunch with a cousin in Salt Lake, her favorite restaurant, the Red Iguana. She loves it. So we went there, and we just finished lunch, and in walks a very high general authority, which I'm not going to say publicly who it was because I don't want to do something. So he came walking in with his wife, and they were sitting there, and they were starting to order their lunch. And I looked at my cousin, and I'm like, oh, really? So I just happened to have a purse full of Latter-day Saints for Life cards. And I was like, okay, let's wait till they order, and then I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to talk to him, and it's going to be awesome. So I quickly pulled up the doctrinal library on my phone, and I had his talk ready. It was on the screen. And I went over with my cousin, introduced myself. I'm part of Latter-day Saints for Life. We've started this organization. Now remember, it's a year ago. We had just barely started. We barely got our doctrinal library up. And I said to him, we are trying to teach the doctrine and be in the community of the pro-life world as a church. We are trying to make a difference. And he looked at the card and he's like, okay. And then I said, and we have this really cool doctrinal library. And I showed him on my phone. His talk was there. So cool. And I clicked on it, and it goes directly to the church's site. So his talk, his picture came up immediately. And he went, whoa, this is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's really cool. And I'll tell you why I started, and with my two friends, why we started this group. And I told him the CTR ring story. His wife was horrified to hear that story. And I said, we have to teach. We have to do better as a group. And he leaned back in his chair and he said, this is exactly what we want the members to do. This is what you are doing is exactly what we want the members of the church to do. We teach the doctrine, and then you take it to the world.
We'll go to our graves. We tell you these stories because a lot of people ask us, is this really appropriate for members of the church to do? Is like say anything or do anything about the abortion thing because the church isn't organizing it. If the church doesn't organize it, it's maybe not a good idea. We do have the approval and the support of our church leaders. But also, we didn't need these experiences to know that. We've learned this from knowing the doctrine, knowing the sanctity of life that is taught over and over in all the standard works and all the modern teachings that we can find on the subject. And it's also what our hearts know as children of God. We know we are each part of God's family. And we know as Latter-day Saints we have a responsibility to promote the safety, security, and the thriving ability of our children to come to this earth. And it's our job as members. As our friend said, you'll never know. Never, ever, ever know. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take this and do something about it. And that's what we're doing today. So, thank you.
We're trying to be very careful and appropriate. If we've asked their permission to share with you that we're talking, then we're okay with that, right? But if we haven't formally asked permission, and this was like early in the game, we want to be very, very appropriate. Okay, you've been sitting long enough. Time to move the booty. So we're going to do a little interactive. See the pile of Post-it notes. Wait. Oh, I forgot the pledge. Okay, we'll do the pledge, and then we'll do that. Okay, let me make the announcement. Otherwise, they're standing up, sitting down. Okay, so we're going to do the pledge, and then we're going to do a wall activity. So you'll see out there are 4 posters out in the hallway out there, just past the table on the right. See those Post-it notes? Who's the Post-it note chief? Okay, you're going to pass those out. Now, we're going to have 4 questions that we want you to write on these Post-it notes, your answers. You can write more than one if you're, want to hog it. So, okay, I totally okay with that. And you're going to write your answers and you're going to put them out on those papers. Got it? So here's the 4 questions that we want to discuss. 1, what questions do you have on the church and the pro-life doctrine or issue? Okay, do you have questions? Maybe about the exceptions, it may be about, IVF, whatever it is. We got a lot of questions, right? So whatever questions you have about the church and the doctrine, you'll put that in the first one. The second one, what have you personally done to support pro-life work? And we've got all kinds of people in here that I know have been just kicking butt. So share with us, what have you done? Did you crochet blankets? I don't know. Did you attend a baby shower? Have you stood on the curb with a poster? Whatever it is, let us know. Third one, have you had good, bad, or neutral experiences with sharing your pro-life views within the church? And what were they? Okay, so whatever experience you had, write it really small and get it on there. By the way, if you'll look on this door right here on the left side, on the entryway, you'll see if you bore your testimony. A lot of us have been bearing our testimony because they can't do the hook. So if you've been bearing your testimony at all on the pro-life issue or on the sanctity of life, on the doctrine, please share that on the left there as well. And then finally, prioritize. What's important to you to get help with? I know that's a poorly worded sentence. I did it. List A, B, C in order of priority. So A is getting involved in the community of pro-life work. B is teaching or talking with my family about the issue, kind of sticky sometimes. Or C, talking about this in a church setting. So you'll put like A, B, C on your little Post-it and then put 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, and 1 or whatever your order is, right, of what's most important to you for you to need help and support. All right, we're going to begin by standing to say the pledge, and then we're going to release you to the hounds to go back to put your Post-it notes. Everyone rise. Come on, everybody up. Oh, in your bag, your gift bag is an ink pen to write on your Post-it note. Thank you, Andrea. All right, so you've got pens in there. We have extra pens around. All right, are you ready? And I want this with vigor. I want this with passion and enthusiasm. Okay? We want the angels in heaven to hear it all the way from here. You ready? Begin. I pledge to protect preborn babies and promote a pro-life culture amongst members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and my community. As a Latter-day Saint for life, I will let my faith in Jesus Christ, His church and its doctrine, and the words of ancient and modern prophets guide me as I speak, vote, and act with charity for my preborn brothers and sisters. And I love this word act, favorite word. Okay, so all throughout today, I want you to be praying. We want you to be thinking about how you can do this. And we're going to have a lot more on that. All right, everybody, get your Post-it notes, get your pens, write your things. We will at 10, so you've got about 10 minutes to do that. At 10:45, we'll have a break with snacks. You can refill your water bottles over here if you want to.